Oh, did you see that drama where two Filipino actors guested You Where Stars Land? I'm not sure if Jello heard about that, but two actors. One is Lauren Young. I forgot the name of the guy. Siguro
EJ Falcon. EJ Falcon.
They did well in that drama, and then I think there was an article about how they shot the scenes, and then he noted that the environment very professional. Kung ano yung oras ng shoot doon talaga, walang pahinga-pahinga, tuloy-tuloy. And so probably yung production value nila, that's why, diba, ganun kaganda yung quality. It's really their way of life na like producing all these dramas. And then may mga actresses din kasi, like local actors and actresses na mahilig sa drama. So we note one is Janice de Bel. Follow namin siya eh. Kasi she's like a big fan. She goes to fan meets in Thailand. Parang may mga favorite siya ng mga actors and actresses. And I think there was one show in GMA na parang Korean drama theme. And then she invited some of the Korean actors sa bahay niya. And then the actors were saying na they don't do that in Korea. Parang wala. Unlike tayo kasi when we start work, di ba parang, oy, mag-friends muna tayo. Sa kanila daw walang gano'n. They go straight to work, and then they develop the working relationship between na lang, o sa gitna na, o very professional. So siguro yun din talaga, parang, kumbaga sa atin, kinakareer talaga nila yung production. That's why the quality is really high.
It's really high. One of the things that I pay attention to is the music that they play on the shows, no, on the dramas. And ang remark ko palagi sa wife ko is, wow, that's really good music. And when it is, so sometimes I hear the dialogue, which is in Korean, so I don't understand what's happening, but I get the emotion because of the music that's playing right behind it. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is excellent. That's excellent use of music in that medium. It's not just the acting, it's not just the storytelling, but it's also the technicals behind the production that is very, very exemplary for me, in my opinion.
Okay, with me, I may be wrong, all right? I'm not very much impressed with the stories of K-drama. I mean, of course I am, but it's not, for me, it's not really fantastic. It's not something which the Filipinos cannot do. It's just that I feel that there is more premium given to professional directors, professional scriptwriters, professional cinematographers. They are really taken in as consultant and not just a part of the production team. They really have a say on where to take the project, which I feel is not found in the Philippines. In the Philippines, I feel, and I may be wrong, all right, I'm not part of the industry. I feel that everything is about the budget. Everything is about the business. And everything is about the market.
I think they put more effort in the project, right? It's like, it's not just to have something, several episodes running. It's more of, parang, let's, while we're at it, do our best.
Right.
Well, ano na rin, no? If we're talking about budget, so kanina we were talking about soundtrack, diba? Producing a soundtrack for a drama, I see the trend that they're putting more emphasis on it. Because, again, you can hire more people, generate more revenue if you have a fantastic soundtrack. So there's one drama, the title is Another Miss O. I really found the soundtrack to be really nice. So ano na yan, parang 2-3 years ago. And because of the popular songs there, they now have a musical about it. So si Sandara Park is part of the cast. So di ba, nanganak na siya, may mileage na naman siya for another medium. So kaya siya nagiging ganon. So sa Philippines, yes, budget concern, pero I think hindi pa lang natin naisip na by creating more avenues, dadami din yung source ng revenue, di ba?
I agree.
Opportunity.
Which I think points back to the fact that the Koreans and the other East Asian countries see the bigger picture much more clearly, because part of that is so you want to earn, right? And there's a budget. There's a budget for everything, right? But they know where they're headed, and they understand that in order to get the returns that they seek, you have to bring out a product that is top notch. Also, there's importance given to the music providers, the musicians. There's importance given to how to blend the music into the final product. There's importance given to the schedules of the actors, to the time that they put in. And Bangge told me that this is a sign of respect for each other. Again, I'm not one to say what is and what is not in the local industry because I'm not a part of it. But I will comment on the output that I've seen so far, and malayo. It's really far behind what we see from K-dramas, K-movies, Japanese dramas, Japanese movies, etc. So perhaps in terms of this medium being a channel for art, they're able to realize that, while we here in the Philippines are not.
It's not because of the artistic side, but because of the business side of the people who are involved in the entertainment industry in the Philippines. They were able to put a very strict alignment between business and the respect for the artists. There's a very good agreement on where the art should be given more emphasis, and then it also has to cater to the palette of the people watching. At the end of the day, it's pop art at its best for me, right? Because kung sasabihin mo sa akin kasi na they've come up with something like Schindler's List. I'm talking about script writing, like Schindler's List or I Am Sam. No, they haven't. Daming ang loopholes for me. Kaya lang nakikita ko kasi si Han din, so okay na. Pero yung mga artista natin magagaling.
Kasi I think we have like really great actors, but our star system
individual
is the focus hindi yung
Yes.
It's not even a legit star system anymore. Parang we tend to think na the Philippine movie and TV industries are at the bottom, maybe not at the bottom, but they've gotten left behind by the advances in these other countries. But there was a time when the Philippines was the entertainment center of Asia. You talked about Korean rom-coms. There was a particular movie that I remember that was similar in terms of its treatment of the heroine and the hero. The title of the movie was Lollipops and Roses and Burong Palangka.
Si Ate Guy!
Starring my favorite actress.
Kokoy Laurel.
Kokoy Laurel, that's
maganda
right.
yun.
Di ba? Ganun yung kilig factor ng di ba? Ng K-dramas ngayon. So matagal na nating nagawa ito actually. And somewhere along the way, na discarril lang tayo.
Noon siya
nasira yung natin, yung progress natin in that But there was a time when the Philippines really was the center of this.
Actually, nauna din tayo sa LGBT na teams, 70s, 80s, diba? Mas madami nga tayo So,
do you guys recall the name Manuel Conde?
Yes.
He did a series of movies I think it was in the early 70s or perhaps the 60s pa nga, ng Juan Tamad, di ba? Yung movies na Juan Tamad that were very well acclaimed during that time. And he did a version of Genghis Khan that according some of the things that I read about it was that it was one of the better versions of Genghis Khan ever made. So galing na tayo doon sa level na yon, but for some reason we just were not able to sustain it. And now we're we're at a point where
back to square one.
tayo, yeah.
But our projects most of the time are always poor copycats of Hollywood. So why will the Americans watch us, right? Why will those people who are exposed to Hollywood watch us? But with K-dramas, even the way they dress, it's very Koreano yan. Yung haircuts nila, it's also, maybe people are also global, diba? Globally, people are also looking for something different. And maybe that's one of the reasons why the Americans are watching K-dramas, I think.
Versus watching
Japanese
Filipino dramas. No?
Yeah, because what you have to offer is always a poor copycat of...
maybe not always, but in general. Kasi there's some...
That's why we're here and they're
there. There are some good writers out there, I'm sure. And we have excellent actors. No
directors.
Excellent directors. But I guess everybody is prostituted to the system. You know?
Yes, because they have to earn.
That's right.
Oo. This past few years, di ba, mga local movies, nauso yung mga long dialogue, di ba, that thing called Tadhana. Nauso yung genre na yun eh, if you notice. So okay naman siya. Sabi ko nga, I don't want the local industry na gayahin din yung K-drama. Parang, for me, sana mag-create tayo ng sarili natin. Maghanap yung inspiration na makuha natin.
Maghanap tayo ng secret sauce natin na igagawa ng secret ingredient. So what are some of the actionable ideas that we can sort out from all of this? So I think one of the actionable ideas for all of us, no, is to be more aware of what is happening in these different industries in the different countries. What my wife told me prior to starting this particular episode, sabi niya is, manood ka muna ng mga Tagalog films and shows. Kasi ano pag-uusapan ninyo, hindi mo alam yon. And maybe also be familiar with other the works of the Japanese, for example, which I enjoy. I've enjoyed a lot of the Japanese shows that I've seen. Naked Director. But I've not seen much in terms of Taiwanese, Chinese, basically martial arts lang. So para meron tayong point of comparison dito sa mga ito, and then we can see what's good, what's not so good, and then
what can be done.
What can be done for our own local productions.
Paano natin i-encourage yung creativity sa, diba, sa country natin so that we can come up with better material. Probably first, kasi pinag-usapan natin na, diba, meron tayong glory days ng film and drama. Parang how can we put them back, especially now, meron na tayong platform streaming. Kasi you can find them anywhere, diba, right now. Wala na yung mga old films, hindi natin siya mapapanood eh. Parang if there's a way to like get them into these platforms para maalala ulit natin na ang galing pala natin. Parang maganda yon. We can start from there, di ba?
We visited the the old FPJ studios. And apparently what they're doing now is they're digitizing all of the old FPJ films, which is fantastic. So maybe one of these days we'll get to invite them over to talk about what they're doing.
Ako, coming from sort of yung academic side, plus I have grown-up kids, I'm thinking if there are any like projects from yung parang sort of like indie short films that we should also recognize na may potential yung mga bata who are still in school, still learning yung production. And they're very creative. Plus yung younger people who have access to streaming and all that can relate to whatever they've created. Kaya, yun ang naisip kong na for all we know, gagraduate pa lang yung next, Lino Broca.
Yes.
True.
Ishmael Bernal pa lang.
Dagdagan ko lang yung sinabi ni Chooks, no? Sabi, kasi parang nabanggit din ni Tracy to earlier, yung sana there's more creative output, there's more. And I think it also boils down to the fact that historically, there have been very limited venues for people to get into this kind of thing. No? So yung For example, if I as a Filipino, an everyday Filipino, wanted to make a movie, uh, until now there was very little access to being able to do that. But nabanggit na nga ni Tracy na ano na ngayon eh, everything is there, everything that you need is there. It's actually cheaper now to get the
Yes.
to shoot movies. It's it's cheap now to and it's possible now to get all of the equipment you need to create your movie. And as Chooks mentioned, no, perhaps the younger or even us, no, it's never too late for anybody. We're never too old for anything. If we want really to go and make stuff like what the Koreans
go ahead,
let's go do it, diba? And everything is out there. Distribution, and I think this is part of the problem. So we're talking about new equipment, new modes of creating something like this, but we're still shackled by the old distribution and marketing models that we have. Where kailangan merong producer na produce, but what we really need is just somebody to go and do it, and then the internet is there that we can.
And Cello, Cello, that's where the opinion of Cynthia really matters.
Exactly.
That, you know, let fund the children, because these people do not have, they don't work in a box. I also believe that the government should have a share in this. What I see are the networks. The networks. Mahirap kasi ang movies simply because they don't have that much money, right? But the networks can. They are efficient when it comes to funds, efficient when it comes to reach, efficient when it comes to people. Simula tayo sa drama muna, wag na muna movies.
It's not also a far-fetched idea to just explode the old paradigm altogether, the old distribution models. So just disregard the networks, because the biggest network is right in front of us. It's there for us to use. It's the internet, and it's exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
If we're able to do that, then as Cynthia said, no, there'll be venues now for these young people to be able to produce. It doesn't even have to be a full-length feature film. It can be like a 10-minute short, right? To start off, and then as you gain traction, then it can then snowball into what will now be the new normal for the industry. But the other thing that we have that I think is a competitive advantage for us in the Philippines is there's a wealth, just an amazing wealth of experience, of culture, of everything to draw upon, to make fantastic stories. No? So all of these inspirations, coupled with the talent that we have here, coupled with the will to get it done, coupled with the willingness to shift our paradigms and make use of what's in front of us right now, I think this will enable us to jumpstart new ways of doing things. I think are needed. We don't need to hang on to the old structures, because they're no longer relevant with the new reality. I think we ought to explore, as Bangge said, we ought to explore what the internet can give us.
Then I think for K-drama, every day we watch K-drama, at least, at least once a day, or maybe every 2 days. So the sustainability is there. Parang bakit ganon? Kasi the material light that you can live with every day. When you watch local shows, kasi tayo pag sinabing pagandahin natin, lagi naiisip socially relevant, kailangan ganito. So you know, you parang diminish the size of your audience. Hindi kasi siya pang araw-araw. I think it's another actionable item, like to get feedback from the new generation.
Yeah. Artistically, we have the talent. We've got everything that we need to get this industry going. The only thing that we need to do is change the way we think. Yeah. So again, thank you, Cynthia, in all the way in California. And
Yes, thank you,
thank
Chooks. Thank
you, thank you,
you,
Tracy, all the
Justin.
way from
Thank
Cebu.
Tracy, thank you
Malayo
very
pa, no?
much. Super.
Welcome.
All the best.